I might not be necessarily the ultimate 2x KO guy, but I am curious to see where that game goes. And just speaking from like a fundamental level and sort of from an outsider's perspective, it looks like 2x KO is going to be changing quite a bit from this gameplay stuff. And I think it should. If there was one thing that we noticed when we were watching and playing the game from that first beta was that it's cool and it's fun, but it definitely needs some work. The next beta might be next spring, so that's kind of far away. It could be like 7 months away. I feel like the biggest issue that 2x KO kind of had was its very sharp drop. Every fighting game has respectively a sharp drop, and that will happen either sooner or later. Some games will happen, some games will carry the audience. It'll just be more interesting for the game to be, more interesting for a longer period of time. But in general, like, it was one of the sharper drops I saw at the beginning of a fighting game, even in a beta phase. And we were sort of talking about like why that could be, and it was arguably the casual approachability to watch the game. It didn't have moments. Either you are stomping this guy or getting stomped. The only difference was like an exchange of damage, and that was about it. Instead of creating like really big crazy moments, the game does have moments. It has all these parries and shit like that, but they didn't linger or last long enough for people to visually be like, whoa, like a Tekken slowdown moment, which is clearly a moment, you know what I mean? 2x KO was sort of lacking that in a lot of ways. And from somebody that has engaged the majority of huge chunk of my life with how people engage fighting games, how they look at them, how they watch them, what makes them appealing, what doesn't make them appealing, all that kind of stuff. It made a lot of sense why, even in my perspective, large swath variety fighting game channel, right? DNF Duel cooked longer during a beta phase. The DNF beta videos went great, and DNF didn't stop really losing viewership really hard until like a month and a half later. So I want that game to be successful. I want that game to be good, and that's why we sort of made a point of like talking about that stuff. What I'm getting at is that game's going through a lot of changes. And I think that's good. I think it's also going to be alienating for some people because there'll be a lot of people that liked old 2x KO. But you have to understand, this is necessary. I think this is a very good thing for this game in general. Some gameplay things might be lost from that first version, but it still is in a state where they're figuring things out. They're still in a state where their core game mechanics are being solved. This is the first one, the Jinx gameplay sneak peek. And yes, like at early playtests a very long time ago, I'll just say an indescribable amount of time ago, my favorite character to play in 2x KO was actually this one, you know?
You can try to run, but me, I run this place. That girl with a gun, coming through.
That missile. Whoa, what the hell was that? Physical counter? Neat. Oh, this is all directly arcane adjacent, because obviously, right? Cool. Damn, bro. That looks so good. Holy shit, this looks so good. What the hell? I swear to God, the visuals look better. I swear to God, like the skin shading and stuff like that is looking even better than it did before. Holy hell. This looks great. Holy shit, it looks great. Trying some gameplay changes. Next test is spring 2025. And yeah, my dude, that could be 7 months from now. I swear to God, 2x KO. If you launch the next gameplay test anywhere close to the launch week of Fatal Fury, I'm gonna be big mad. Yeah, let's take a look at this. All right, let's embiggen. Before we'll read into it in a second too. I'm going to, okay, I was not as intimately familiar with the 2x KO mechanics ahead of time. I get the hang of it, right? So I am going to just make note if something seems different without like really deep introspection. Just from a level of like relatively casual, like super casual. I didn't put a ton of time into the beta. I played a fair enough amount about it. I put like less than 6 hours into the beta. Okay, all right, all right, all right, all right. All right, all right, here we go. Damage seems high. I see a new bar. Combo seems shorter. That's interesting. That was a Jinx assist. All right. I think I saw about 3 things that was like relatively different. Was there any massive differences? We're gonna go back and look at it with a little bit of a fine-tooth comb and see what sticks out. I don't think this ever gets used, which is very unfortunate if this is the burst mechanic. Let's go back and take a look. Hold on a second. So damage was down here, right? Normal echo combo. So also noticing the combos are solos, right? We are not really utilizing assists in some of these combos, but the damage seems relatively high without a super. That's the big thing I've taken away so far. Let's move forward. RE combo. That was significantly bigger before. They could just be doing a shorter combo. Who knows? I don't see any of the big changes, but the damage looks okay. I'll move my face like down here. So. Assist comes out. Hold up. That's just a push block. Straight up. Did I miss a tech roll of some kind? Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Aha! What really depends if you can tech roll forward or tech roll backward or neutral tech, right? That's sort of like the mix. That's also what they do in MVCI. That's a big deal. That less bullying to allow options on Oki, you know, and on Wake Up. Is this a meterless push block? Oh, this popped up down here, right? But the game had push block before, but it cost you technically bar? I'm trying to remember. And I'm not seeing any bar used. Yeah, there's a different effect too. It looks like there's a different effect. It costs an assist up there. Oh, wait a minute. Are we saying your assist character is the one that comes out and does it? Wait, what? Oh, shit. So it does cost a resource. That's kind of a good idea. So what they don't want is push block to be just like this free roaming system similar to the Marvel vs. Capcom games. They don't want that. That might be a bit too much. Limited usage push block, right? Not resource intensive like a meter, but it is using up an assist call. So that makes a lot of sense. Once he goes away, oh shit, push block into tag. That's a good idea. That's cool. Never thought of that shit. I'm starting to think of other games that allow me to do that, maybe in some situations, but that's a cool idea, dude. That opens up for a unique amount of offense that in team games has not existed before. I like it. I'm gonna say it right now. I like it. I like that it doesn't cost any meter, and I like it that it effectively acts like an assist. That's cool as hell. So Wake Up's sort of the same thing. Not committing to big invincible reversals per character. More like their unique get up system, which is effectively the same thing that Mortal Kombat 11 kind of did. That is a counter hit? Retreating guard. All right, so 2 different kinds of push blocks, which existed before, but now this has a much different like animation. Like a punish, because retreating guard, from what I recall, could be low crushed. You could effectively blow it the hell up by getting hit from a low of some kind. So it was risky. It was inherent. It was one of the reasons why whenever I would do it, that would happen. And I'm like, ugh, I'm not going to do this much anymore, which led me to not using it much anymore. That's a big fucking assist, my dude. That's a big assist. This is such a good assist. It seems fucked up. This is such a good assist, it seems fucked up. Does this cost meter or some shit? What, am I missing something, chat? This seems like a buffed out assist. It's a super. Her bar is spent. It's the bar down. It's the one that is being hidden because fucking the player. Hold on a second. Yeah. He uses okay. Meter-based assists. But there's also like the last stand assist. You're right. She is dead. Yeah, but it cost a bar now. It makes me almost wonder if just Last Stand in general got nerfed and Last Stand now uses meter. I was almost like, are we getting buffed out assists in some way? Which I always think is kind of a cool idea. Using your resources on buffed out assists is kind of new. That hasn't really been done before. But still, we don't know if that's actually what's happening. Like, it's hard to tell if that is related to the Last Stand mechanic or if it is a new feature that you can buff out assists in some way. So, there's some big changes in here. Combos are shorter, number one. They seem to do more damage, number two. The wake-up system has changed. You can either tech roll in multiple directions or at least only one direction from what we saw here. It reminds me a lot of Street Fighter Cross Tekken, the way that game handled its tech system, from what I recall. Burst gauge is now shown here as a save feature. Assists may or may not be buffed, but could be related to the Last Stand of like a dead character's assist being mega buffed now. Push blocking, and this is, I'm gonna say my favorite one. Having your alternate team character, their push block is now no longer meter tied, it's assist tied. I think that's a great idea, and I think that will change the game a ton. Like an absolute ton. We're only looking at a very, very short video, a very, very small like round of what can potentially happen. Bro, we're not looking at combo potential. Like, you can choose to make these combos shorter. We're looking at no assist, where there's no tagging during the combos. There's no assist coming out and making the main character's combo longer. Whatever there are, they're shorter and they're doing a bit more damage because I don't think they want rounds to last as long as they did, but we are not seeing the future of combos in this game is ABC launcher, ABC Oki. No, my dude, people will break this shit. Just the same way they broke the version 1 beta, you know what I mean? If I'm being like a little critical from my content brain, the game still feels very FGC focused in a lot of ways. There is no overbearing large visual change to combat. You have to kind of go through this with a fine-tooth comb to sort of notice the differences. There's no like, you know, crushing blows or some wild shit or unique team-up attacks or any crazy thing that you might want to exist in the game. Those aren't exactly there yet. And that's kind of the stuff that I hope changes by the time the game does come out. The really engaging moments are like, you got mixed up by some crazy shit. That was a crazy mix that you had there. I have to be in defense of the developers right now. It's not done. If your concern is that I was really looking forward to this game and I wasn't really into it, I think this is a good sign. It's a good sign that they are willing to literally add a goddamn push block to the game in a creative way. They're literally willing to mix and match what has historically been the way it is in different ways now. They're not married to everything in 2XKO is solid, it's fun, we're good to go, we're just gonna add characters and ship this bitch. It's like, no. They are actively trying to engage it as a spectator and as a participant, you know, to make it better, which is a good thing. I think that is a really good thing because some of this stuff is pretty exciting. So, Alpha Lab highlights. What they learned from Alpha Lab was our first chance to see what players like and dislike about the game. They're still locking down core gameplay. Good news. So your participation was not only awesome to see, but really valuable in helping us refine 2X even further. We thought a lot about which features feel really good and which ones need more work. We're excited to use what we learned from all of you to amp up what feels best about playing the game while continuing to knock out some of the barriers preventing folks from having fun. Before you get your hands on again, what we'll be working on. Creating more opportunities for team play. That's great. We heard a lot of cool champion interactions are a highlight, whether you're playing solo or as a duo. We want to make those moments happen more often. They're listening. That's what's cool. They're literally listening. Decreasing downtime. You recognize losing control of your character for long periods of time, like when getting hit by a combo or while blocking can be a little frustrating. We want to find a balance between allowing players to create powerful and creative offensive options and allowing folks to get back into the action pretty quick after making a mistake. Yeah. Oh yeah. Improving controls. Oh shit. Two of my biggest concerns. We've heard that it can be hard to find a layout that works well and want to be comfortable with any supported controller. We're still committed to one-button specials, but we're exploring changes to avoid overloading a single button. Thank you. Goddamn thank you. I didn't like it in DNF Duel either. Didn't like it. That said, we're also committed to preserving and amplifying things that you all said felt good about the game. Like big teamwork moments that give the game its special sauce. Yes. Those are the things that make up our core vision, and we're doubling down on them in order to bring that vision to life. While we've also gone dark, we've also been making some gameplay tweaks among other changes that are still in early testing. There's no guarantee any of the stuff will make it into our next release, but here's a sneak peek for now. When you can play the game next, spring 2025. Playtest will be available in more regions than our first alpha. We'll be wanting to know if we can improve on what y'all saw this August. We'll be asking for your feedback on some new features too. If there is one thing I was a little critical of that I didn't talk about a ton of, the game's optimization was pretty rough. Like if you played the game for a longer period of time, you got noticeable frame drops. And I think that could have potentially been a nailing issue with the online of the game. It was very desync heavy. So yeah, the online experience, like the optimization of the game, clearly needed a bit of work. As you might have guessed from the gameplay trailer, Jinx will also be playable for the first time during the playtest. Cool, she's in it. With this week's new release of Arcane, we thought it was the perfect time to show off her upgraded kit. 2XKO has evolved so much. Yeah, she looks amazing. Cool to watch her evolve along with the game itself, and we're excited to finally show that off. Whether you're an FGC vet or a hardcore Arcane fan, we hope you think she looks sick. Yes. What to expect until then. This is our last check-in before Riot goes on holiday break at the end of the year. In the meantime, the team will be hard at work to bring you a more polished version of the game. You can expect more info in the next year's play test, new features, how to participate. In the meantime, be sure to sign up for play tests. Cool. I have all the confidence in this game.